let's talk about this. We are going straight from the Canadian Shield to the Gold Cup. And we did our reactions to the groups, and it was great. Um, but we're now here. We're on the doorsteps of it. Have your thoughts on what's their ceiling in this tournament? Have they changed? Have they stayed the same? How do you feel about Canada's chances walking into this?
I think our chances for me after the Canadian Shield are even better than they were. I'm more confident now than I was previously.
Hmm.
We just played very well against Ukraine. We came away with a good result against Cote d'Ivoire, and I expect us to make the final no matter what. We have to. That is something that is non-negotiable for me, unless we come up against a very good Mexican side in the semifinals, or something goes fluky and we go south in the semifinals. But I think we
Mhm.
really have to go and win this final. This is a Canadian team that's playing with confidence. They're playing their best football. They're passionate. They want to win a trophy. Everyone keeps talking about that. That is what they want to do. And the fact our best players are playing on form, they're positive, they're excited to be at camp, and they're ready to go out there and win this. And it is something that we can see every single day now and on the pitch. But the way they delivered at the Canadian Shield, I thought was impressive on another level. And when we're talking about how you brought up teams aren't going to be surprised about our pace, I almost think Jesse Morris kind of changed his play style against Cote d'Ivoire compared to what he did against Ukraine, which
Mhm.
I thought was something we didn't really see under a Herdman, under a Biello in previous tournaments and previous friendlies, to be able to completely change your style of play and not be all out, let's press, let's press, let's press, and win the ball. And if Jesse Morris can continue to do that against different nations, it'll be very exciting to see. And I think we're now tactically ready. The players are confident. And I still believe we'll go out and win the Gold Cup, which I don't want to jinx us, but I think it has to happen. I'm going to say that
Mm.
right there. Not going to
I,
jinx us.
I think definitely they have to do well in this tournament. I mean, we've said they need a trophy to legitimize, and it's. I was watching a Herc Gomez clip on YouTube, and it was just the comments, though they're annoying, they're true, right? Canada tends to be they're playing the best. They are in the best form. Like, look at this past window. It's like, oh, look at Canada. Canada beat Ukraine. The U.S. lost to Turkey. Mexico loses to Switzerland, and then Switzerland Swiss cheese the U.S. And Mexico beats Turkey, and then we. And there is a point of like, it's not that we're the flavor of the week. I think that's a little bit too passive to say about it. But I think there's a degree where we're the golden child who hasn't done anything. And it's a weird way to put it that way, but it's there's nothing that shows that they've done anything in the region. And that's why we said Nations League, let's win that. They weren't able to do so. And then they switched over and said, hey, what about the Gold Cup? I think if you look at the form of the teams, right, Casquilla is out for Panama, right, which is a big blow for them. So it's Mexico and Canada, right? I still think Panama's going to cause someone a headache because they're always a well coached group, but it's Canada, it's Mexico, the US. I don't know what to make of them right now. Like, this could be another Copa America for them where they get grouped, and people said I was crazy for saying they would get grouped or finish in second. I don't think the US is making the semis because I feel like they're gonna finish second in their group. They're gonna play Mexico in the semi in the first in the quarters. But for Canada, they need to make the finals here. Right. Prince says like if they don't make the semis, it's a fail. I disagree. I think they need to make the finals. They legitimately need to make the finals because they've they've missed out on, if you want to count the Canadian Shield, even though they won it, but they've missed out on, I think, two great moments to make a statement in the region this year. Nations League, they weren't able to do so. And then the Canadian Shield, a win versus Cote d'Ivoire would have gone away. They weren't able to do that. And that's okay. Cote d'Ivoire was up for that. They circled that game. And so for them, I know you said minimum semifinals, Prince said, but I'm saying for them, it has to be
Minimum
finals.
final. Yeah.
They need to be playing in the finals, right? And so for me, that's kind of how I see it. And you think they can win it? I don't think that they can't win it, but Mexico is the new boogeyman for them, right? For whatever reason, whenever they face them in big moments, they just haven't been able to get it done. Um, and so I want to see them beat Mexico in the final in a hostile environment. They have to get there first. Let's not forget that. And there are teams that are coming that you have to be aware from them as well. So I think making the finals, let's get there and then let's reevaluate. But I think they certainly do need to have that type of a performance because if not, after that we just have friendlies. And so I think this group, I think they'll eventually win something. I don't think they don't win something, but I think they need to have something to go with them to show they need something to validate how well they've been playing. And unfortunately, as much as I wish it would, the Canadian Shield doesn't count for that.